What was your school's huge scandal? Principal had an affair with my AP Chem teacher. The school board came down hard on the teacher, and she was suspended for most of the year, which sucked because none of us passed the test. Principal got a slap on the wrist, though he ended up quitting at the end of the year. I got confused on why anyone got suspended. I guess relationships between co-workers are okay in my country. Why is that bad? Boys' dean got caught with a girl in his office. She was 17. It's the reason that office now has a window in the door. I remember back in the early 2000s teachers were telling us that doors should never be closed while alone with a teacher. Teachers were even supposed to avoid being in the room alone, which is why they met students in the hallway, so you can cheer them on. A geography teacher caught a history teacher banging his wife in the school library. The history teacher was his best man at the wedding. Also, a PE teacher threw a janitor through a door during class. It is regarded as one of the best schools in my country. Oh, that's sad. History and geography go so well together. Someone found an empty lube container in a couch in a classroom that was generally open. They got rid of the couch. A kid also drove a dirt bike through the halls and got arrested. You can't drive that in here. Yes I can, it's all-terrain dummy. My school had a few in the span of the 4 years I was there, and a few since I graduated. In the middle school that fed into my high school, a wrestling coach got caught sexting and sleeping, statutory rape, with a student. That student went to my high school the next year, and by December, it came out that the school's security guard was sexting and sleeping with the same girl. A girl in my year died from a heroin overdose, and a guy that was with her at the time hesitated on calling an ambulance because then he'd get in trouble cause he supplied the heroin. Had a lot of fights happen in our central area during passing periods. A guy from another school in our district went missing. Turned up a few days later, having died via suicide. His girlfriend, I think, may have just been a close friend, stepped in front of a train the next day. This girl was actually a prior fling of a buddy of mine's, still understandably a sore subject with him. Longtime science teacher got caught in a prostitution sting and was forced to resign. Hanged himself a few days later. Our football field was fenced in, but backed up against some house backyards. The school tore down the bleachers on that side of the field by the houses. They were the visitor bleachers, so were decently short, and replaced them with new home side bleachers that cost over $1 mil. These were way taller, and blocked out the sun from the houses they were by. The bleachers were east of the houses, so the houses didn't get sunlight till afternoon. After some complaints, it was discovered the school built the bleachers before they got the permits to do so. Don't know if they figured they'd get it during construction or didn't give a shit or what, but ultimately the school had to tear them down. One of the main people who lived in an affected house and fought for the bleachers to get torn down due to the no permits had a daughter in school at the time, and she got bullied by a lot of people, and that family regularly received death threats. Just a few years ago, one of the deans got in legal trouble cause he was doing illegal locker searches. He resigned as a dean, but somehow came back on as a math teacher in the same school. Last I heard, kids made fun of him to the point that he left. Finally, a kid died via suicide and implicated being bullied as the reason why, and named the bullies. Turns out, he'd gone to the deans about this multiple times, but the bullies were football players, so it got ignored. After the suicide, the whole situation got swept under the rug, with the school refusing to accept any responsibility and students got in trouble for talking about it. No offense, but your school is utterly cursed. Holy shit, just a few? Wow. We had a ban on bringing our own bottles to school and could only purchase drinks from the school store because there was an alcohol problem. Kids would come to school with pretty much anything they could get their hands on and would start drinking in first period. One day, before the ban, they did a sweep in first period and had everyone open their water bottles and check what was inside. I think there were over 50 kids caught that day. We also had a problem with opioids. Ambulances were there at least twice a year to get someone that overdosed in the gym. Back in the olden days, weed was more of the problem. They brought in an undercover cop posing as a student and he befriended those voted most likely to be a dealer. Busted half a dozen kids, as I recall. We had a guy that would go into the bathrooms and smear his poop all over the walls and jerk off on all of the toilet paper. He'd destroy any bathroom that he went into and we wouldn't be able to use it for a couple of days. Our principal would get on the loudspeakers at school and announce that the poopatrator has struck again and tell us what bathroom not to use. This lasted for about 3 weeks. It was this 6 feet 7 inches goth of a giant probably weighing 350 plus pounds. He finally got caught in the act and had a chase through the entire school, running through the lunchroom, down to the gym, just knocking anybody over who tried to get in his way. The football coach was finally able to tackle him after he sprinted through the school with shit on his hands for 15 plus minutes. This is my favorite one. We were on an episode of Sally Jesse Raphael as the next Columbine. A disgruntled employee, a teacher, possibly a long-term sub, that was only there for a little while, slipped on a piece of paper on the tile and broke her arm headed to break up a fight. She told the story under anonymity as broke her arm breaking up a fight, and proceeded to talk about how unsafe and unmonitored the school was. The show sent someone with hidden camera glasses to walk in and show how easy access was for potential shooters. Dude walked all around the school and was never stopped. This is in small town Kentucky near Ft. Knox. When the show aired they sent the school a copy of the episode and we watched it on the in-school TV system. Afterward the school installed doors that locked from the outside and funneled all traffic through the front door and installed cameras everywhere. This was 1999 to 2000. I was a freshman. Sounds like a prison. A little more than a week after the Parkland shooting, our principal suddenly got on the intercom and told us to evacuate the building. We did, and we hadn't gone through proper evacuation procedures, so we all ended up all over the damn town. One kid literally ran all the way home, trying to figure out where we're supposed to go. We all assumed it was a potential bomb threat and got sent home for the day. Over the next week, the school changed their story about 4 times, so us students started freaking the fuck out and started trying to figure out what exactly had happened to trigger the evacuation. But 2 things happened that finally made the situation escalate out of control. The principal called us into an assembly and proceeded to blame us for the rumors, as though it was our fault they couldn't get their stories straight. Students finally figured out that what had happened was that someone had accidentally left their sandwich in a locker overnight, then someone smelled the rotting food, got a teacher, and that teacher panicked and caused the evacuation. I think a total of 7 people in all got fired by the time the dust settled. Rotten food. Oh fuck, oh fuck. Evacuate everyone, run away That sounds like some Diary of a Wimpy Kid shit ha ha ha. Guy got blown by his GF in the floor of the biology section. Both 16 to 17. The floor was completely surrounded by glass. Even the top. You could see everything in it from every direction. There was just no place to hide. Our new high-tech library with fancy full glass front was like 5 meters in front of it. So someone eventually saw it. Didn't got into much trouble, though. Since this happened in probably the most liberal area in Germany, our head, Nihaya, of biology just gave them a VIP talk about the bees and birds, and some condoms. We know, dumbass, why do you think she was blowing me? Is Gnaya like our hair? Never seen it till now tilde. I mean I don't know if this counts but one of our prefects got caught drinking. In a bar. Legally, in regular clothes. I know, how could he? And because of that the school took away his badge and so in protest all our prefects lined up in front of the principal's office and handed in their badges. It was chaos, a contest of chicken between the school and the student leaders and in the end the school blinked first and gave everyone back their badges. Edit, huh? This did a bit better than I was expecting. That's fucking awesome. Big power move right there. What exactly is a prefect? I mean, I watched Harry Potter but still. Edit, my new most liked comment is because I'm an uncultured swine. Nice. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.